All right, let's talk about the single biggest lie in software development. We're told that tools like Jira are there to make us more agile, more productive. But we all know the truth, don't we? For most of us, they've become a prison. But here's the thing, the tool isn't the real enemy. The real problem is something much deeper. And the escape route? Well, it's not what you think.
We have all been there. You are deep in the zone, that perfect state of flow where the code is just writing itself. And then, bing, that message pops up. And just like that, the spell is broken. You're yanked out of the creative universe of problem solving and dropped right back into the gray, fluorescent-lit world of administrative bureaucracy. And that feeling, that constant nagging pressure to feed the machine with updates and status reports instead of actually building things, that's what we call Jira Hell. It's the place where passionate developers turn into glorified data entry clerks. And honestly, if you're a dev, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
So, how on earth did we get here? How did a simple tool designed to track issues morph into this universal symbol of developer frustration? Well, the story is kind of tragic, and it's soaked in irony. It's a classic tale of good intentions paving the road to, well, you know where.
And this right here is the smoking gun. Let's just pause on this for a second. The very first value of the Agile Manifesto, the document that started this whole movement, is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. And yet look around. In so many companies, our entire Agile process is now dictated by the tool. The work isn't about delivering value anymore, it's about moving tickets.
And you can feel the difference, can't you? In a healthy setup, a tool is just there. It's a lightweight aid, helping you collaborate and ship great software. But in Jira Hell, its purpose is totally different. It's about enforcement, it's about surveillance. The focus shifts from the software to just moving little boxes across a screen. One empowers you, the other just drains your soul.
To really understand how deep this problem goes, we need to take a little trip. We're going to descend through the 3 circles of Jira Hell. And trust me, each layer gets a little more dysfunctional, a little more disconnected from the original goal of just building cool stuff.
The first circle, this is where it all starts. The ticket treadmill. This is the point where the ticket stops being a pointer to the work and becomes the work. The goal is no longer to solve a problem for a real human being, it's just to get that ticket from the to-do column to the done column. We measure our progress not with working software, but with a pretty burn-down chart that makes managers feel good.
And that leads us down to the next, much darker circle. Jira as a surveillance tool. You ever wonder why managers are so obsessed with every little status update? It's almost never about helping you get unblocked. It's because, in a low-trust culture, the tool becomes the perfect weapon for micromanagement. They're tracking your story points, they're watching how long tickets sit in your column, the daily stand-up just becomes a performance where you have to prove you were busy. And finally, we reach the deepest, most fiery circle of hell, the configuration nightmare. This is where organizations, so obsessed with control, build these monstrously complex workflows right into the tool. Suddenly, you can't close a ticket without filling out 12 different custom fields, or you need 3 levels of approval for a simple text change. The tool, which was supposed to serve you, is now a straitjacket, actively preventing you from being fast or agile.
Okay, so after all that, it is so easy to just blame the software, to just scream, Jira is terrible. But here's the big reveal, the secret that changes this whole conversation. Ready? Jira isn't the problem.
Not at all. The problem isn't the software. It's the culture that picked it up and decided to use it as a weapon. The tool is just a symptom of a much, much deeper disease inside the organization. And that disease is what we call a low-trust culture. It's that old-school command-and-control mindset that defaults to watching your every move instead of just empowering you to do your best work. It's a culture that values rigid process over genuine collaboration. That is the real root of all this pain.
Here's probably the best way to think about it. Jira is a mirror. It doesn't create your company's culture, it just reflects it perfectly. If your culture is built on trust and empowering developers, Jira will be a quiet, helpful assistant. But if your culture is built on fear, micromanagement, and bureaucracy, well, Jira will become the perfect prison.
Now, I know some purists will say, well, you just need to do Agile better. But that's like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. It doesn't fix the underlying cultural rot. The real escape route isn't about finding a new tool or adopting a new process. It's about a completely new mindset, one that's powered by new technology that makes the old way look ridiculous.
The future isn't a prettier Kanban board or a better text editor. The future is about getting humans out of the tedious administrative loop entirely. It's about leveraging automation and AI to do all of the boring, soul-crushing busy work that we all hate.
Just imagine this for a second. A world where you never have to manually update a ticket again. You push a commit, and an AI agent sees it and moves the ticket. Someone leaves a long comment on a pull request, and AI summarizes it for you. Your daily stand-up report. It's generated for you automatically, based on the actual work you did. This is about freeing developers to do what they're paid to do: develop.
What this all boils down to is a fundamental shift in philosophy. We have to stop forcing humans to spend their days feeding data into a rigid, dumb system. Instead, we let an intelligent system simply observe the work as it's happening and handle all the reporting in the background. It makes that old-school surveillance totally obsolete because the status is always automatically up to date.
So, let's just put it side by side. The old way is a culture of fear, forcing humans to feed the system, prioritizing processes and tools. The new way lets AI observe the work, which finally allows us to get back to that original Agile ideal, prioritizing individuals and interactions in a culture of trust. AI doesn't just automate tasks, it enables a better culture by making the old methods of control totally irrelevant.
So the path out of ticket hell isn't a new tool, it's a new culture. It's time to stop blaming the software and start looking at the low-trust systems it reflects. The real escape is using intelligence to automate the bureaucracy, freeing us up to actually build the future. Now to end this, let's create a monument to our shared pain. I want to know, what is the single most useless, most infuriating, or just most ridiculously named custom field you have ever been forced to fill out? Drop the war stories in the comments below. Let's see how bad it gets.